Welcome to the Do It All Dad Your podcast, dad friendly entertainment for you and me, controlling our kids through comedy, can make our kids great again. And this is episode 70. Impossible to ignore. Like my son that goes completely crazy whenever he has to spend too much time with mommy against his will again. So I wanted to start off episode 70 by giving another shout out, as repetitive as this is, to the good to the good man project. It's a mouthful, I know. Kim Kardashian can't wrap her mouth around it. I want to give thanks and praises to the Good Man Project. Specifically, I want to thank my editor, Kara Kennedy, who I like to believe is a John F. Kennedy blue blood alien like myself, for recognizing tremendous talent when she's face to face with it. Because only true talent can recognize it and spot in others. So thank you, Kara. Long time. Why am I so giddy? Because I no longer hear my son crying. Not that he does it all the time. And again, I had anticipated, I knew that the Good Man Project was going to be posting what Gen X parents understand. The piece I had written, some stuff had to be taken out, which is fine. However, this was my opportunity, folks, to be the voice of my generation, for Generation X. Why should Richard Linklater have all the fun? And I had a field day. And it's not every day where you can bang out a line that has Nas, George Carlin, and Dice in the same breath and have it all make sense. So you can check it out on the Good Men Project. What Gen X parents understand. And that is finally now out on the internet forever. I feel great about it. Could not be more giddy. Especially when explaining to my kids how I'm able to make comments about calling Eddie Vedder a more reliable frontman crooner than Axl Rose, who in the end didn't have to turn his face into a melted wax candle replica used in the November Rain video. Can I get a holla for some holla? So, but let's get back to some new material that I wanted to share with you today, folks. And this is called Impossible to Ignore. Because I had a field day today blanketing LinkedIn, all these user groups that I never interact with this piece. Because, to be honest, I want to connect with Do It All dads. And I have a soft spot for Generation X dads specifically. Because it's my generation. It's my generation! My generation, baby! So, Howard Schultz would steal votes away from the Democratic nominee, Bloomberg. Is that so, Mayor Bloomberg? Why is that? Because Kamala Harris is Michelle Obama if she shopped at Ann Taylor. Can I get a holla for some holla? Howard Schultz would steal votes away from the Democratic nominee, Bloomberg. Is that so? Better put the CEO of Peet's Coffee on notice. He's got greater brand name recognition than the CEO of the coffee bean Tea and Leaf last time I checked. Can I get another holla for some holla? Howard Schultz would steal votes away from the Democratic nominee, says former Mayor Bloomberg. Because comedy writers on Colbert will take their vote to the CEO of the Coffee Bean before a centrist Jewish candidate not controlled by Mexican drug cartels yet. Can I get another holla for some holla? Howard Schultz would steal votes away from the Democratic nominee, says former Mayor Bloomberg. I think Elizabeth Warren should seek a vision from a shaman in her 1%er tribe. She can write off the peyote trip expenditure as opposition research. If BuzzFeed starts asking questions and reverts to mind-blowing, serious, investigative journalism again. I love making fun of BuzzFeed. My wife, when she was working for Walt Cornell, she had a in at BuzzFeed, and they never got back to me. So I am definitely enjoying their downfall. And actually, I want to give props to the Good Men Project, because one of my earlier pieces, I don't remember the title of it because they've published 13 of my blog posts by now. All future chapters in the stay-at-home comedian parenting memoir book of mine that will be out this Father's Day in 2019. Come rain or shine. But I did have a fake news golden shower reference, so that's great. So the Good Man Project has balls. There's still hope in the universe, folks. There really is. Side note, have you heard the new Trump voice GPS system yet? Turn right for your exit for Mohican Sun. Elizabeth Warren's Home Away from Home. Can I get another holla for some holla? Howard Schultz would steal votes away from the Democratic nominee, says Mayor X Bloomberg. Shrink from the moment more, Bloomberg. His aides are instructed to never bring him a tall latte from Starbucks because tall means small. Howard Schultz would steal votes away from the Democratic nominee, says former New York City Mayor Bloomberg. Because Gillibrand will write off past campaign donations by Harvey Hairclumps Weinstein as hush money for not tattletaling on the fat rat to his wife. But on the bright side of things, I read that Harvey Weinstein's wife finally divorced him so she could focus on her lifetime battle with amnesia. Howard Schultz would steal votes away from the Democratic nominee, says the former lordship Mayor Bloomberg. Because all the Trump haters in the universe are so intent on backing a 3-time loser, assuming Huma Liquor Breath runs again. Can I get another holla for some holla? Howard Schultz would steal votes away from the Democratic nominee, says former ex-mayor Bloomberg. Because hot comedy writers banging out angry, white boy, blackish spec scripts at Starbucks on Beverly Boulevard are so centrist in thought these days. Howard Schultz would steal votes away from the Democratic nominee, says ex-mayor Bloomberg. Isn't that the DNC's job, Mr. Ironic? Face facts, Bloomberg. Bernie got screwed. You backed a 2-time loser. So much for 2018 being the year for atheist Jews. Can I get another holla for some holla? Howard Schultz would steal votes away from the Democratic nominee, says ex-mayor Bloomberg. Seth Rich calls. Now, show us what you got, Mr. Ironic. Boycott this. Resist this. I don't care. At my daughter's elementary school in northern Westchester County, New York, they invited the parents there to witness our children play a game of Clue using locations from the local surrounding area, stressing community as the theme being taught there. When explaining the directions of the game, my daughter's second grade teacher says, if you make an accusation and you're wrong, your BuzzFeed, I blurt out without being able to control myself. The entire class of mostly mothers roars in approval, including my daughter's first grade teacher, Miss Castellano. Only New York, baby! Shithole this! That's the real pulse of America, Bloomberg. Hope you're taking notes on a latte cup, Schultz. The end! Thank you very much! So that actually happened, and it was a beautiful moment to behold. So I'm in the wine shop before, probably thinking, you're dropping a lot of hollers tonight. And I've been really good, but, I was reading this line about Henry Miller, where he was a famous American writer. He's got a library named after him in Big Sur. Beach Boys are big fans of Big Sur. So are the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So he talks about writing notes for himself, and he says to refrain from like movies and friends and all this fun stuff until he gets his writing done first, which I think is really cool. But then he also made a comment saying, only drink when you're in the mood to drink. Now, I wasn't say I was in the mood to, get like hammered tonight, but I definitely wanted to taste some sweet added success on top of what I've been experiencing with the Good Man Project. And the thing is, when you're a stay-at-home dad, those wins are few and far between when you're not bringing home the bacon. And the veggie bacon doesn't count either, which my daughter likes to point out to me in a very playful fashion. Like I remember one time I was at Russ and Daughters, a famous smoked fishery on the Lower East Side, and I was with my great aunt Marianne. She's great, and we were there, and they have a new location where you guys should like sit down, and it was fantastic. If anyone that's not from New York, if you're from Arizona, this guy Brendan Dilley, he's a big Trump guy, and he shares a lot of truthful knowledge, but you got some serious balls, my friend, calling my city a shithole. Because I've been to Arizona, and outside of Scottsdale, you don't have much to brag about. And it's not like you live in Sedona. And I could only occupy myself by basically loading up on so many dream catchers, and I could only really give a shit about the meaning behind certain crystals for like 10 minutes at a time once a year. And your bread sucks. And you melted that during the summer. So, and the amount that you get in California, you just get it on the cheap. So calm the F down for a second. New York's a shithole. New York's got soul, my friends. New York's got personality, okay? All these people. Now, does Hollywood have a bunch of sexual degenerates? Sure. Do you have pedophiles? Yeah. But let's also not completely disregard the scrappy hustlers that had a dream and went for it, and that were able to achieve it without all odds. It's not just all nepotism. It's not just, having to blow some guy and that advancing you, okay? There is such a concept of talent rising to the top and throwing your balls out there on the stage and not hiding behind a fucking periscope, okay? Great, you interviewed Roseanne Barr. Whoop-de-freaking-do. Congratulations. She banned me she blocked me on Twitter because she was jealous of my jokes, so you can go fuck yourself. I made fun of Melania's trees. I came up with some sort of joke about how it looked like Paul Bunyan got cornholed, while squatting down and wanted him to take a shit. Yeah, it's a funny joke, right? So, since then, Brendan Dilley, he's not responding to any of my tweets, regardless of how funny they are. I love him going off. Greg Gutfeld stole my material. Who gives a fuck about Greg Gutfeld? Give me a break. That squarish putz jerk off. At one point, I actually cared because my barber said, "Hey, guess this guy Greg Gutfeld on Fox. He's kind of funny. You should send him stuff." He didn't say that. He just actually sent him stuff, so he was kind of funny. I checked him out. He talks in like that droll, like nerdish tone. He's got like no flow. Sounds like completely like overridden. I sent him gold. I got no response from him, so Godfrey could go fuck himself too. It's really a damn shame. You know, all these people in media, you know, that are Trump supporters. I mean, they're so either they're nerdy or they're annoying. I can't think of one that I'd want to have a beer with. You know, like Milo, you know, was like appealing for a second, and then I found out that he's hanging out with like neo Nazis, and Bill Maher just like sobbed over him. And obviously, I hadn't read his book because like his writing was just like whatever. And Ben Shapiro was like a nerdy twerp. And then you know, who else do you got? You know, Crowder, Lateral Crowder. You know, he like freaks out on Rogan, talking about like weed statistics. Like I don't care. Yeah, people that drive that smoke weed are getting in the car accidents. So that's your point. Like this makes you a intellectual heavyweight. Oh, you know, and like annoys me that they latch on to like the coolness of Trump, who's a New Yorker. Like Ben Dilly, no offense, I'm from Alaska. You're not a New Yorker, okay? Who's the other guy? Bill Mitchell, the ex-executive recruiter. Yeah. Where are you from? North Carolina? You were like an executive recruiter in Florida? Like, can you look any cheesier? You're not funny either. And then you got the ex-Secret Service guy. I forget his name. I don't know. Mark Levine. You know, he'll say something funny once in a while. Because he's got that, like, strong Jewish, like, streak in him. Where he's very sardonic. And he does speak the truth. And he defends President well, but... You know, but also, like, you know, for Bush's funeral, he's, like, you know, licking Bush's ass and, like, nothing negative. Which is crazy. He still reeks a little bit too old school establishment for me. I think he's one of those guys that is one of those like bandwagon people that that Savage talks about. Now Savage is truly funny, but he's so insufferable. But he's not stand up funny. But I can understand why he has the ego, thinking he's better than those twerps like Tucker. Tucker Carlson. I went to prep school, and I look good with the tan and with my you know the third neck over here, and I can get away with it because I still have good hair compared to Hannity. So, and Coulter, hysterical hack. This is 0.0 gravitas off the page. So, anyway, so I'm at the wine shop. I'm getting wine, and there's a woman there, and she goes, "You got any political jokes for me?" I said, "Go on the internet." She said, "Well, anyone could go on the internet." No, go on the internet and Google Good Men Project. Good Men! Good Men Project. Write it down. You don't have a pen? Then remember it then. Always knew Ryan Reynolds was going to be big time. He was so funny, Ben Wilder. He's the best. So, and Blake Lively is super hot. Pretty amazing when you think of his trajectory. So we got Alanis Morissette. That was in a really cool relationship. Then Scarlett Johansson. And he's like, yeah, I'm not really into the man voice after a while. Thought I could get into it. You're still a little short. You're spending a little bit too much time for Woody for my taste. Yeah, I think I'm going to do the upgrade to Blake. Thank you very much. I think Blake is way more inhalable than Scarlett, but that's just me. And Scarlett, you know, she sounds... I saw her in Ghost World. She sounds too manly. But my first moral parenting stance was insisting that my daughter only watch Woody Allen films that came out pre-Sunny. Yeah, but Woody's a good guy. Knowing that he was caught stashing Sun Yi's pictures, her black and whites from Time Life magazine, in his top shelf sock drawer for safekeeping to tap for future creative inspiration, I'm sure. This is the Do It All Dad Year podcast, dad-friendly entertainment for you and me. Controlling our kids through comedy can make our kids great again. And I'll talk to you guys soon.